Welcome back to Good Morning Football this Friday. The critically acclaimed NFL Films original series, A Football Life, shares the story of Terry Bradshaw.
He has led a life that people could just dream of. When the light goes on, my guy performs.
We would not have won those 4 Super Bowls if it wasn't for Bradshaw.
He's one of the most misunderstood Steelers of all time.
Hey, Mama. You got to heal and you got to get past things. And is that God telling me not to say this?
That's good.
A Football Life, Terry Bradshaw. It's Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern and on NFL Network. We put a bow tie and said goodbye to Week 1, and we know that it's already a nominee for Game of the Year. Saints, last-second field goal win over the Texans. Now the Saints are looking ahead to their Week 2 matchup, and so are we, as they travel and take on the defending NFC champions, the LA Rams. With more, here's Omar Ruiz.
Good morning, Kay. After everything the Saints have been through the last couple seasons, they've built a mental toughness that was certainly on display Monday night in their win over the Texans. Sean Payton told me after the game he knew Week 1 mistakes were going to happen, but he was proud of his team for how hard they played and how they recaptured some of that momentum lost when Houston built double-digit leads twice, and of course when the Saints made that comeback in the final minute. New Orleans also had to overcome another controversial call by the referees, an admitted mistake by allowing 15 extra seconds to run off the clock, what the Saints felt put them in a much difficult position to kick a field goal, which Will Lutz eventually missed. When I asked Alvin Kamara after the game how he would describe the Saints' mental toughness, he said it's amazing, and they'll have to continue to rely on that mental toughness in this gauntlet, as Drew Brees described. They now go to L.A. to face the Rams in the NFC Championship game rematch. Then they head up to Seattle before returning home to face the Cowboys. 4 games to start the season against 4 playoff teams from last year. Let's send it back to you now, Kay.
It could take that spot for best game of the week of the season so far. Thanks so much, Omar. The NFC is so hot right now. Massive showdowns in Week 2. Saints, Rams, Bucks, Panthers on Thursday Night Football on NFL Network. Redskins, Cowboys, Vikings, Packers, Schrags, Eagles, Falcons. Which game and which question do you want answered?
It's a loaded NFC schedule in Week 2, and that's how we want it early to get it going. And I look at that game that Omar Ruiz just talking about, and I look at the 2 coaches. I kind of go through the league right now, and I'm trying to think of the great rivalries with coaches. Andy Reid and Belichick. Belichick is kind of lopsided, right?
Sure.
Belichick and Tomlin. Belichick's got the advantage. Sean Payton and Sean McVay are not going anywhere. They're in Los Angeles and New Orleans for the next few years at the very least, and I can't wait to see the next chapter because the first 3 have been awesome. 3 great games. Let's go through them really quickly because it starts in 2017 when the 2 go at it.
Remind me of
the upstart Rams have a home game against the Saints. They win. It's McVay getting the best of Payton 26-20, okay? Last year, regular season in the Superdome, remember this one? Marcus Peters versus Michael Thomas in the big spot. Drew Brees finds Michael Thomas, burns him, says, I liked the matchup. Sean Payton having a good time, finds his guy. They go out to the big early lead. They almost lose, then come all the way back and blow out the Rams when it matters most in the stretch.
Peters had a remark about gumbo at the end of the game.
Absolutely.
Sean Payton get that gumbo ready. He was a little blue. I liked it.
And then there was the NFC Championship game. How quickly we forget what a game of the year really looks like. Have your Saints Texans. Give me this one.
Here it comes.
This was the pick or the touchdown to Higbee. That really was a big one, but we know that the call everyone wants to see was the Nickel Roby-Coleman play. But don't let it be lost that Jared Goff outplayed Drew Brees in his building in the second half and overtime in that game. McVay's up 2-1 right now. Okay. McVay has the edge. Don't think that Sean Payton has been brewing and has something mixing and has something ready for this one. I cannot wait for Sunday. It is part 4 of Brees and Payton versus McVay and Goff. And trust me, both coaches want this badly.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. I know what is going to be a good game, and that's the Vikings and the Packers. You have interdivision rivalry, both teams undefeated, and they're really different squads at this point in their careers when you look at Kirk Cousins versus Aaron Rodgers. Now, you have the Minnesota Vikings in that new, reinvigorated running attack, and Aaron Rodgers is one of the best passers in the business. So it's how can you outrun a prolific passer? And if you look at the division as like a kitchen, the chef that's been running the kitchen for so long is Aaron. And that's his kitchen. He heats up the meals. He delivers what he wants. That's how he runs his house. But there's a new cook in town, and that's Dalvin Cook. So can Cook outcook the chef. You know, when you think about Aaron Rodgers, the only way to really beat him is not to hit him, is not to sit back and play zone. It's to keep his butt on the sideline. And if Dalvin Cook can continue to run like he did last week, Aaron Rodgers is going to be staring from the sideline with the blank face because they will be controlling the clock on the other side of the ball.
So it's can they keep Rodgers sidelined?
Can they keep him? Can Cook keep cooking? Because the way he looked in week 1 was fantastic.
The Packers' offense did not look good.
No, it was terrible. They scored
Terrible
2 points and they
performance.
won.
So I don't know what Aaron we're getting.
We got to get Vikings-Browns for Nate so we can have Cook and Kitchens. Like, Nate, you're going to be on fire. My question is, are the Cowboys the best team in the NFC? Now, there's really good ones. Saints, Rams, Eagles. But we have Cowboys, Redskins. Were any of you guys good at science? Anybody at all? All right. You got to help us out. So as far as I understand, an experiment, you have the variable and you have the control. In this situation, Washington is the control. All right?
Yeah.
Use a little control in Washington. But so the Philly plays Washington week 1.
Yeah.
They have a slow start. They light them up. What does Dallas do against Washington now? It's a direct comparison, because if you're in the trenches with me, guys, for October 20th, which is the midseason Super Bowl, Eagles, Cowboys, let's start comparing these two now. We saw the Eagles. Deshaun went crazy, started slow. What do the Cowboys do to him? Because my second question is, what is the Cowboys' weakness? Is it maybe their secondary? Other than that, these guys, this is Jerry World seems turnkey right now.
Bottom.
So I want to see what the variable does against the control. English major, Summoner's Tale. I love it.
Summoner's Tale.
Speaking of Cowboys, Will's got an update in Culver City. He's out in the newsroom as always. Hi, Will.
Absolutely. What's going on there, Kay and guys? And you mentioned Dallas and Prescott, Dak Prescott to be exact. His asking price will continue to rise if he continues to play like he did Sunday against the Giants. Prescott becoming the second player in Cowboys history with a perfect passer rating in a game. Oh, by the way, he's also the 4th QB with a perfect passer rating on 30 or more attempts in NFL history. And it helps to have a security blanket in tight end Jason Witten, who came out of retirement and the broadcast booth to rejoin the team when scoring his first touchdown in 633 days. A 4-yard grab from Prescott on NFL Now. Witten talked about how impressed he was with the QB1.
I mean, he looked like Joe Montana out there on Sunday. I mean, yeah, he's a different quarterback. He's got 52 teammates that would run through a wall for him, coaches, support staff that respect the heck out of him. And, you know, I think he's doing all that. He's comfortable in the system. He and Kellen Moore know what they want to get to. He's got a lot of confidence in his weapons and his anticipation, the velocity of his throw. I mean, all that's just at a high level. I mean, he's in that tier. And the best thing about it, I think, as a veteran teammate of his and seeing him grow and come into this league and have success is he expects that of himself. He certainly expects it from his teammates. And, you know, he's not reading his press clippings. He's moving on to the next week saying, I can play better and better. And it's a great thing to see when your quarterback has that type of approach.
Witten and Old Face returning to the same place. Different story here for this man, Joe McCoy, who is now with the Panthers after spending the first 9 seasons of his career with the Bucs. McCoy will see his former teammates on Thursday Night Football right here on NFL Network. There's always the debate over whether a player on a new team should give away trade secrets, hello English, to his new team. McCoy says there is no debate, he is doing it.
I'm telling everything. I'm telling everything. I told y'all in my opening press conference I'm loyal to who I'm with. So, you know, I already know what they're going to, you know, try and do to me. But I know how everybody blocks. So I know what everybody over here does well. So I'm kind of helping put together matchup problems. So.
What are they going to try to do to you?
Just watch the game.
And you said you told us
watch the game.
Friend of the show, Kay, guys, McCoy did say that when he does retire, he'll do so as a member of the Bucs, but he is more than willing to spill those trade secrets.
That's right.
I'm into that. That's your guy. Peter, he called you out once on the show.
He did, and I love the fact that he's going up against his former team. He's got a score to settle. Yeah. They got rid of him, and they were like, Ndamukong Suh's better for us.
This is a top 10 moment on the show.
It was awesome.
Live TV style.
Peter, you were good at it.
Dak had a top moment in week 1. Who needs a near-perfect performance in week 2?
Someone needs a perfect plex. I love it.
I feel like he needs another one. And how many Prince songs can you name while this play is happening?